Hello, and thanks for watching Independent Living Nova Scotia's Top Tips for Independent Living. I'm Michelle. Today, we're going to talk about stress management. Do you struggle with this? Who doesn't, right? Especially now with COVID, we all have our regular life stress, which can seem overwhelming at times, and the pandemic on top of everything else. Stress is a very personal thing, and everyone has different stressors, capacity for stress, and coping mechanisms. Some people struggle more with their physical needs, and others more with their emotional needs. But stress management is all about finding the balance and finding patterns that work for you. Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged periods of excessive stress. This is what we want to avoid. It's important that we keep our stress levels under control and develop our own personal techniques for managing the stress in our lives so we don't get burnt out and we can be there for the people who are important to us and the life moments that we want to experience. So let's get started with my top tips for stress management. Tip number 1, practice self-care every day. Self-care is different for everyone, so you need to develop your own methods, but it's important to take time every single day to take care of yourself mentally and physically and do things that bring you joy. Self-care can be things like taking a bath, meditating, talking with friends and family, going for a walk in nature, coloring, or playing with your pets. It's anything that brings you joy and helps you be present in the moment. Tip number 2, sleep. Sleep is very undervalued and desperately needed in our society. Did you know that most people need 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night? Are you getting enough? If sleep is something that you struggle with, there's a few things that might help. Try setting a reminder in your phone. This can be helpful, so if you're watching TV and it's coming up to your bedtime, an alarm can go off and remind you that it's time to start winding down. Make sure that you set these limits and stick to them. If you're texting with a friend at 10:30 and you know you have to get up early the next day, don't be afraid to set that boundary and be like, hey, I'm really sorry, I've got to get to bed. Avoiding caffeine late in the day can really help with our sleep patterns. Sometimes it's 5 o'clock and you need energy to get through the night, but that caffeine, that late in the day, could be affecting your sleep patterns. If you're a person who's sensitive to caffeine, you might need to be aware of this and adjust the times of days that you're having your caffeine. Sometimes it's helpful to do a calming activity before bed, like listen to a sleep meditation or some light music, or do some light stretching. Another thing to do to help with sleep is to keep a sleep journal or use an app on your phone. This can be really helpful if you're not sure if you're getting enough sleep or if you have bad habits you want to correct. Tip number 3, fitness and nutrition. To prevent burnout and physical manifestations of stress, eating healthy is more important than you think. It's really important to eat good quality food that's nutritious and make sure that you're eating more nutritious food than junk food. I know, it sounds easier than it is. Remember to drink plenty of water. That's 2 liters of water a day or 8 glasses. But remember, if you're having a caffeinated beverage, juice or soda, these don't count as water. You need to have 2 liters of water on top of your other beverages. Exercise is also really important to help with stress. Try to do something physical every day. Studies show that just 30 minutes of physical exercise a day can help you improve your sleep, overall fitness, and even prolong your life. Tip number 4, healthy relationships. Remember to spend quality time connecting with family and friends. Now, this can be hard with COVID right now, but even a phone conversation or a Zoom call can help you feel more connected to the people in your life and uplift your spirits. Try to avoid toxic people in your life. It's okay to take breaks from certain relationships if you feel it's affecting the levels of stress in your life. Make time for the people who are important to you and who add value to your life. But remember to give back as much as you take. Tip number 5, rest and relaxation. Now this is different from sleep. If you're running around trying to get things done and you realize you haven't sat down in hours, take a few minutes and just take a short break from your work or chores. Or try multitasking. If you have to clean your room, make it fun by listening to music or talking on the phone. Also, don't feel bad about declining to go out with friends if you just want to stay home. True friends are going to understand that not every day needs to be a social day, and sometimes we just want to rest at home and veg out. Remember to give yourself a break. We are often our harshest critics, so be kind to yourself. And recharge your batteries, whatever that looks like for you. Try engaging in a flow activity. That's an activity where all of a sudden 4 hours have passed and you don't know how because you were enjoying yourself the whole time. It's something that you can just get really into and be present in the moment. Tip number 6, gratitude. Be thankful and appreciate what you do have. Now this can be really hard, but try to think of 3 things that you're grateful for every day. You can always find something. It's also kind of fun to have an email chain with a friend or keep a gratitude journal. That way, you can look back on those things on days where you're really struggling with your gratitude. Remember to show others that you appreciate them and tell them too. Everybody loves hearing how important they are and how much you love them. And remember that even when you think the grass is greener, you have a lot to be grateful for. Lastly, if you want to try to improve in any of these areas, but you don't know where to start, there are tons of apps, websites, and videos that can help you start on the right path. Start with some research and try different things to see what works for you. That's it for this top tip. Thanks so much for watching.